Boys and girls, welcome to Club Evil. I'm Evil Dick.
Evil Dick! Evil.
You're a devil in disguise is what you are. You're burning me on purpose.
That's what I'm saying.
Why do they think that God gives a crap about what goes on in that house? And why do they think that he's going to part the Red Sea for them to the Promised Land? Didn't you watch last season? What they didn't show last season was me in the diary room praying to my God, Fred.
Like young, tiny, small spaces. Evil Dick. These little gooey telltale.
Are you taking the cameras off of me?
Evil Dick.
Welcome back to another RTV Zone Dick at Night, where we are recapping the last fucked up episode of Big Brother, when we do have a lot to talk about. I want to say thank you to everyone in Winnipeg. You guys rock. My Bombers jersey. Hold on, there it is. I have my Winnipeg. One of the fans got me a Winnipeg Blue Bombers jersey. That's their Canadian Football League, and I heard that they got beat 52-0 the day that he gave me this. And this
by an American high school team.
This is a really nice jersey. I mean, it must have cost the guy some money. So I do appreciate it. All the fans were great, and from what I understand, I will be back up in Winnipeg again, November 2nd, 3rd, 4th, something like that, for a Comic-Con up there. So I will let you know and give you all the details as I get it all set, and I get my deposit. Actually, that's when it's confirmed for me, is when I receive my deposit check. Anyhow, James, we were just making fun of your haircut and your salmon or coral-colored shirt. Are you trying to outdo Shane there, or what's going on?
I just wanted to know what color it was. I didn't ask anything else but the color.
Thank you, June, for clarifying that. I have to go to this casting in about half an hour where I have to look like a young dad for some swimwear thing. So instead of doing this shirtless, I had to throw on a young dad-looking shirt. And on Saturday, well, for the next couple of weeks, I'm shooting this series out in L.A., and I need my hair cut short. Couldn't have long hair because I'm this military henchman type guy. I get killed, so you guys will enjoy that one.
What series you're shooting?
It's called Project Phoenix. They've been throwing some stuff out there on Twitter, and it's going to be a lot of fun. I get shot in the face with a shotgun on the 25th. I know.
You get shot in the face.
Yes, after turning into a zombie. So I last 5 of the episodes and then get shot in the face. Yep.
Oh, right on.
A lot of people
zombies.
I know, right? A lot of people wish they could do that.
Never have enough zombies.
Shoot me.
The Walking Dead on AMC is killing it. I think June's a fan of that, right?
Yes.
I watched it a couple times. I love it. All right, but let's get to the good shit. Let's get to the good shit here. And this
James has to go. He has to play a young dad in a salmon shirt.
Now, really quick, Dick, we've debated this a lot. Do you now think that Dan is the greatest player of all time?
No.
June, you?
No.
Only because the other person he's being like, I don't know, the other person he's trumping is Dr. Will, allegedly. And until I see them in a house together, I'm not going to make that call.
You know, that's the thing is like, if you want to know who the best is, they got to play against each other. Plain and simple.
Agreed.
But let me, I'm going to put it to you this way. I said it from the beginning. The coaches thing was not fair as a start. They got a 4-week pass, number one. Okay, because how many more evictions did Ian have to last? Even Danielle. Did Danielle have to last than Dan? Okay?
Good point.
4 or 5. I'm not even sure at this point. They had to last that many more evictions. They could not have any secret alliances like in season 3 or like in season 12 because they're telling everything to their coaches. And once again, I'm going to bring up the fact, and I don't give a fuck what anybody says. When Dan was on the block, and going home, that's when production decided to bring in another veto that week. So he had actually 2 vetoes to play with that week because Ian was not using his veto on Dan. Was not using. And people go, oh, well, that wasn't the real veto. They're both real vetoes, motherfucker. What are you talking about? Either one of them could have been used. Both of them could have been used. Don't give me that bullshit, the real veto, that Gen 1, this one. You know. And the thing is, too, there's always a group of idiots in the house every season. So Dan fucking these people over and using them like a tampon and throwing them away, you know, could be done any season because there's stupid people in the house every season, no matter, even All-Stars. You know,
so what's your butt, James?
But my butt is that, like, when you bring up things like 2 vetoes or things like that, I mean, a redo of HOH, which is unprecedented, is what kept Janelle around the house in All-Stars. She was going to go home that week. They redid the HOH. You know, there's all sorts of things that happen in every season that allow players to go on longer. Rachel in Pandora's Boxes. You had America's Player. I mean, June, I didn't see your season, but I know that was before all the bullshit started happening.
I had nothing.
But after All-Stars, you can only go. I mean, Dr. Will had nothing season 2, which is why he is one of those greatest. But what I'm talking about is when Dan sits there and everybody, no matter how dumb they are, they know he's won. They've had 72 days to discuss that he's won. They're still just falling at his feet. And I think that regardless of who you're cast, and they've all mentioned it, oh, we got to get Dan out. He's just too damn good. He took Danny right into the room after she just evicted her boyfriend. And he's like, I'm doing this for you. And all of a sudden she's like, oh, and you're like, holy fuck, please don't reproduce.
This chick is a complete idiot. She is so fucking stupid. It's beyond the normal fucking stupid that Big Brother cast.
But is she Ashley stupid?
No, because that's a whole different kind of stupid. I think Danielle's kind of stupid is that when it comes to men and men that she can lean on, she is stupid. But obviously, the girl survived until now. She got her tits done. Like, she's a so-called model. Like, she definitely knows how to get around, so she's not stupid.
Yeah, not a model.
But when it comes to guys, she is.
This is the type of stupid that Danielle is. Danielle is the type of stupid that believes after 100 times, I won't come in your mouth. Okay? She still believes it. After the 100th time, and you shoot your load down her fucking throat. That's the Danielle stupid. Ashley is the pillhead stupid. It looks like they've kind of weaned her off. She must have been in rehab for that. She actually didn't look so cloudy, right?
Well, I actually have Ashley's dream board right here. And this is Ashley and Frank, and their relationship is held together by Valium. This is Ashley's dream board. I got this from production. I also have Brittany.
Are you going to put it on eBay?
I actually have Brittany's right here. This is the brand new broom she wants to buy with her money so she can fly all over the place, and that's the gun she's going to use on Frank. And then I have Frank's dream board.
Wow, he's put a lot of work into this.
Where Frank wants to trade 4 vetoes in for a brain because he feels like he'd be so much more effective if he only had a brain.
Wow, I like your primary colors.
I have Shane's dream board, which is some Lysol toilet bowl disinfectant for when Danny jumped on top of him and kissed his lips. He needs to clean himself somehow, and I'm assuming that this is the only thing that can remove that. And then I have my dream board, which is right here.
So is that your dream board, or is that your reality?
Well, we're not going to discuss personal lives on the Dick and Night show because we're talking about
to try to get laid, try to fuck Carol.
Dude, I'm working. I'm not banging anybody. I'm a nice guy. But yeah, I threw those together with some permanent markers I have around the house.
Hold on a second. This is the stupid that Danielle is. Believing that James is a nice guy, he's not going out to get laid. That's the kind of stupid that Danielle is.
Yeah, she's like, but you told me that you weren't getting laid.
I was literally when she was sitting there and Dan was giving her that speech about how he's doing this for her, I could just imagine like the guy that she would date could like beat her up or cheat on her or anything, and at the bottom of the stairs, he's telling her that it's her fault, or I'm doing this for you. And in reality, someone in her family needs an intervention. They're like, if you're in a game where you know that everyone's lying to you and that they're full of shit, and you're still believing them after they keep lying to your face, I'm just doing this to help you out for the real world, because
and this one
someone
was
needs to help her.
A blatant fuck you lie. Where
God!
How many times has Dan? Listen. If you're gonna be on a reality show and anyone says, "I swear on the Bible, I swear on my wife, I swear on my penis, I swear on my mother," I said, "Put that penis on the fucking cutting board right now, motherfucker, because I ain't buying this shit."
I would never swear on my penis.
And then you call me over and I'll cut it.
We got to get the Korean one. It's like Benihana. She'll cut it quick and cut it many times. This is the difference as well of Dan playing with a bunch of amateurs as opposed to Will playing with all-stars, because we are sitting here and all three of us know.
But hold on. Janelle kept Will around. Wait. Will didn't keep himself around.
I understand that. I understand that. But that helped her game as well. But none of us would have bought into the Dan funeral. Am I correct here?
No.
Right.
James,
none.
Would you have been crying on the couch, James?
None. I would have.
No, but the point is,
crying
we're not
out of
in that
laughter.
house. Yeah, I know. None of us would, but we're not in that house. The point is, these people are in that house, and the argument that the coaches had a free pass, totally. They totally did. But at the end of the day, Dan's the last coach remaining, and so he did something different. Because Janelle, she had the same time he had, and she got screwed, and each coach, followed suit, and Dan's the only one left. So, we wouldn't have fallen for it. These people are stupid. But
and hold on, we all looked at.
First off, Brittany is not.
Go ahead.
Hold on, Brittany is not an all-star. Brittany is the lowest rung. If there was an all-star, she would have been an Allison hiding in the pot. She would have been.
Allison's good.
Who would you compare? Yeah, that's why she was out first. Who would you compare Brittany to in All-Stars?
That's why she was out first, because we were all scared to death of Allison. I knew that if we kept Allison in All-Stars, she would probably kill most of us in our sleep one night. We were scared to death of Allison.
I guess in All-Stars, you would compare her to Allie. No, Allie's freaking crazy.
Yeah, I mean, I was scared to death of Allison.
Brittany's not a player. Brittany wasn't a good
Brittany
player.
is like a Dana. Brittany is like a Dana from season 3-ish. You're like, oh, yeah, she was in the game. All right, did something or other.
She's like a Dana and Allison. But I don't know. I feel like Brittany's in a class of her own.
She's funny as hell. I mean,
I think she's terrible. And even she's a bitch, and she's still a bitch in fucking the jury house. She's a fucking bitch.
That's what she was cast for, though. Come on.
Dick, I'm a bitch, right? You know, if I'm in that house, I'm going to be a bitch. Like, there's nothing wrong with being a bitch.
No, I mean, I talk shit about everybody.
Or do you mean something else besides a bitch?
If I have to go back and watch her season again, to be honest with you, I'm going to this off season. But if I do remember that you would say things to people's face.
Sure, but I said a lot of things not to their face. I said a lot of things in the diary room.
Never says anything to anybody's face, ever. That the most confrontation she ever had was in that jury house with Frank, and she went running away right away, and then got the camera and said, "Frank's such a fucking idiot, blah, 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 blah," why when she's by herself. You know, the girl can't tee off on anybody. I wonder if she does that. How does she do that in real life? Her husband, that poor bastard,
We're not talking about families.
Yeah.
Fuck that shit. She comes home from work and she probably bitches about every fucking person in her office nonstop for 3 hours when she gets home.
No, but the thing is, I don't think she works in an office. She works from home most of the time because she's in sales. And so she goes in, jibber jabber, and then she gets out.
Whatever.
Probably.
I don't know. I'm not a fan.
Now, what I was going to say, I mean, we have discussed this a million times, that we knew we weren't fans of, Brittany being made one of the coaches. But day one, we all talked shit about Dan's team. He had Jody bounced first. Kara left the first week. Everyone was talking about wanting to get rid of Dan. Everyone wanted to get rid of Dan's team, so Dan would be the first to go. And then Dan was like, all right, you've taken out 3 of my players. And he just totally flipped the entire house from him being the main target to final 3.
Okay, hold on.
That's impressive.
Now, this brings up a point, okay? Well, this is what Dan did in his season. Dan did this in his season. His alliance was picked up, boom, 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 right in the beginning. He was the last one. He's like, I can't hurt you. I can't do nothing. I can't get you. I'm all by myself. And this is the same shit he did this season.
Yup.
I got to call him back. What's I going to say? This comes up all the time. Do either one of you believe for a second? Maybe I phrased that wrong. I don't want to be too biased. Do either one of you believe for a motherfucking second that if the vote was for Danielle to go home instead of JoJo to go home, that Dan would have went? Or do you think that, we're bringing the coaches in a week early so Dan doesn't leave?
Oh, of course, duh. I mean, CBS is gonna keep all the coaches in regardless.
Of course,
that's obvious.
They have to have them come in all at the same time.
So
for
I get all of these assholes on Twitter telling me he could have been gone that week had she been voted out. I'm like, fuck you. The coaches thing was bullshit. That whole thing with the whole umbrella of coaches was bullshit. Dan was never in no possible way was he being voted out if Danielle would have been voted out, because they knew for a fucking fact after Willie went and headbutted Joe that they knew JoJo was going home next, because she was one of Willie's minions. She was going home, and if it wasn't her, if it was Danielle that was going, they would have stepped in, and the coaches would have they would have brought the coaches in. So, all of this bullshit about people telling me that he survived that. Fuck you, and fuck you too. There's no way. So Dan was saved twice.
Did not have a heart attack on fucking television. You need to calm down there, Dick.
This is my normal conversation mode.
Blood pressure is the boring shit. Now, first of all, now that you talk about all these jackpots on Twitter, right now there's like 5 of them that keep talking to you about something that I keep getting replied all in. And I don't even know what the fuck these fucking crazy fuckers are fucking talking about. But you to me and all of them, and I'm just like,
I try not to do that.
Yeah.
I try not to do that.
There's like, man, I'm like, what the fuck? Again.
Dude, I got 84,000 people following me, and I tweet one thing and I get 500 replies, and people go, how come you didn't reply to me? How come you always retweet the biggest assholes and you don't retweet the nice ones? And I said, because I retweet the assholes, because the ones that are like over the top assholes, when I retweet them, there's about 500 people that jump on them, and I like watching the dog pile. Actually, it's very amusing to me. That's why.
Are you a cyberbully, Dick? Are you a cyberbully? Is that what you're admitting to, right?
Listen, if people are following me,
no, he's a director of traffic.
The difference between my 85,000 followers and Jordan's 90,000 followers is I've blocked 10 or 15,000 people on Twitter, and Jordan comes on once every other week and says, "Hi, here's a picture of me and Jeff at Rachel's wedding."
Did she even use Twitter? I didn't think she used it.
She does.
Interesting.
She was featured on a live show the other night.
Well, let's talk about that.
So CBS called her up and said, "Hey, we want you to tweet."
That's right. Did they call you, James?
They did that to Howie. No, of course CBS didn't call me. They called Howie up and wanted him to tweet. That's why he is. No, come on, man, Dick. Do you see the shit that I tweet about CBS?
Well,
they are not saving me.
Talk about this season.
Those motherfuckers, regardless of how many retweets and shit. I thought my one yesterday about Dan Dan's fucked so many people in this house that his wife should be jealous. Something like that. That should have been on CBS. They'll never put that shit up there.
That would never be on CBS.
And the truth is, and James brings up a point. The truth is that CBS does call you. They ask you to be a featured tweet.
Unless you're me.
And to put hashtag BB14, this and that. They did it to me earlier in the season. Now they're mad at me because I've talked so much shit about this season. Speaking of talking shit about this season, I'm going to continue talking shit about this season by talking about the ratings. Have you guys seen the fucked up ratings for this season?
No.
Last night, which was a huge Big Brother episode, right?
Yep.
Didn't even cross 6 million viewers. 5.77 million viewers. Not even in
Is that
6
because
million
of football?
viewers. No.
Oh, that's right. There was, yeah, but that was the Bears Packers.
But you know what? This season, they always have an excuse. It's the Olympics. It's this. It's that. The thing has never crossed over into 7 million, I don't believe, this season at all. It hasn't been a good season. Did it? If it did,
Robin sent out something about, Robin sent out something about best ratings ever or some shit, but I think they send that out every year.
Best ratings ever.
So I'm not sure.
It's like North Korea. Country ever.
Let's talk about the jury.
They could watch. I don't have any.
Should we even talk about Dan fucking like everybody fucking? Oh, I do want to talk about fetus. We have their fetus. Where's that picture?
Oh, I love this picture.
Here it comes, and I vote Shane out. Oh!
I wish that anyone, there's another one that's like a full frontal. I wish that if you're going to the live show, you wear that as a fucking mask. Just print it out at Kinko's, poke some eye holes in it, put the shit on your face, go to the last show, wear that shit. I mean, that would be the most epic thing ever to have that face out in the audience. Oh, man,
I think that they would actually put that on a blow-up fuck doll, but nobody would be able to get a hard-on with Danielle's face.
I agree.
A lot of people would, actually.
Oh, she's so disgusting.
There's all sorts of, like,
that
simple fetish
zit,
stuff.
that Igor zit she had moved down to her chin. Igor's now on her chin. Just this gigantic fucking zit on her chin. But whatever. So Dan Foxer, this and that. I think that the most important thing going on here is really the big question is jury. Am I right or am I wrong? Shane said, oh, did you notice when Shane left the house, Dan's trying to whisper in his ear, and Shane's like, get the fuck away from me.
Get off me, bitch.
That was classic. It would have been even funnier if he pushed him by his head like they did in the 40s movies. You know how hey, see, what are you talking about? See? And they push it. I saw one Jimmy Cagney movie where he took his girlfriend or his wife's toast or something and smashed it in her face. It would have been a classic. But anyhow, he just shoves him off and pushes him off. Shane goes and sits with Julie Chen and says, Dan's a really dirty player. And the entire audience erupts in applause. I mean, the entire audience starts applauding. Okay, this is very much disapproval for Dan. And you know what? Ian brought it up in the house and said, they liked Shane so much. Did you hear the 2 thunderous applause he got? One, and then like 5 minutes later, another one? Well, Ian doesn't know. It was because Shane had just said, called Dan a really dirty player. Is Dan the most, how did I write it down here?
Is Dan a really dirty player?
No, is he like the most ruthless, brutal liar that's ever been in the house? Successful, ruthless, brutal liar.
Your floor, June.
Sure, why not? Successful.
I mean, I agree wholeheartedly. I think it's amazing. There's no such thing as a dirty player when you don't have rules. I don't get it. If Dan was pushing people downstairs, that's against the rules. That's a dirty player. The producers tell you can lie about whatever the fuck you want, so it's not against the rules, so you're not a dirty player. You're playing inside the set of rules and parameters that CBS has afforded you.
Absolutely.
Those that are complaining, shut the fuck up and watch another game. If you don't like it and you think that you hate this show or you hate Dan or you hate this or you hate whoever because they did what they're allowed to do, then the problem is not with Dan. The problem is with you. Turn something else on. Thank you.
Wow, PSA. Rocky was
It's true.
grind.
You know, it's like if you don't like football because of all the contact in it, and then people get concussions, pick up baseball.
Oh, this
you know
is
what I mean?
not
Or
the
watch
same.
soccer.
This is
Fuck.
not the same. This is pissing women off. I pissed a lot of women off, so much so that they contacted the National Organization for Women, and now had a petition to get me kicked off the show because of
Why?
The way I treated Jen. But the thing was, it's like she was
He
a
tried to
dumb
kill her with a
bitch.
cigarette burn.
If she had a penis, she would still be a dumb bitch, and I would have treated her the same way. But what Dan's doing to Danielle, which we talked about earlier, is almost like a battered woman syndrome, where he's trying to be a Dr. Will, where he's pulling these big lies and fucking her so hard, and then going back and saying, I did it for you. It's all for you.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, both of you are bringing up this battered woman thing. I guess I don't see it that way.
And I don't mean it like she's obviously going to go get someone and have her ass kicked, but this guy just emotionally beat her ass. Like she just emotionally got her ass whooped. Same thing with Shane.
At the same time,
and then instead of being like, you know what,
she's not
smart enough to think this is still gameplay.
This girl is into it. She doesn't mind it. She gets the attention. Seriously, I don't think she's like a victim.
That's what I said about Jen.
We're talking
Jen
about
liked attention, whether it was positive or negative attention. As long as she was getting attention, that's all that mattered to her. The thing with the battered woman thing is like they will constantly take these men back after they beat the shit out of them. I'm sorry. Da-da-da-da. And I didn't go back to Jen and go, I'm sorry. I went back to Jen and said, you're a stupid fucking bitch. Stay the fuck away from me. There was a difference between what I was doing and what Dan's doing. Dan plays on emotions and feelings and, his trust, on people's trust, where people are feeling very, very betrayed. And we saw that in the jury house. And I think that we're going to see that at the end. We only got 3 people. I know that James has to leave soon, so we could go over this, and I can go back over some stuff with June after you leave if you need to. But let's talk
just
about
for clarification on this. Just for clarification on this whole battered woman thing. We're not trying to make light of anything like that. We're just saying it's unbelievable that someone can get this emotionally beat up by someone and still continue to fall right back into their lap. I can't imagine
it. Over and over, you lied to my face. Like, how can I even
She goes, how many times have you lied to me this season?
Time again.
Get rid of him.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Now we'll see because, Janelle got lied to over and over and over by Dr. Will. Janelle did the same thing. She sent home Marcellus at Dr. Will's bidding, but she got smart and then told Will, you know what? You fucked me. Now you're gone. If Danielle wins the final 3, does she look at Dan and say, you know what? You fucked me here, 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 and here. Now take your ass to final 3. I'm walking away with at least $50,000. What do you think? You think that's capable? She's capable of that?
No. So I see your point in that she's weak and she's being manipulated by Dan, but I don't know. I don't think she's as weak as we think she is.
We'll find out if she wins the final HOH.
You don't think she's going to be, when she watches the show and sees that Dan really doesn't give a fuck about her, he's another pawn in his game, that she's not this special person like he's saying, and that it was all a lie. Do you think she's going to be okay with that at the end? When she watches?
But on the show, he's not malicious about it. They're not showing us diary rooms where he's like sitting there like laughing about how he's manipulating Danielle. And so I mean, for us, because we know more, it's one thing, but I mean, I don't know. I don't think I think she'll want to stay friends with him even after seeing everything.
It's not Boogie and Erica where he's calling her a homance and then he's going back and fucking her in the HOH.
Well, they were fucking before the season.
What? Before
All-Stars? Yeah, they were hanging out. Yeah. I mean, come on. The whole thing about All-Stars was that nobody gets is that we had so many alliances before.
Oh,
I mean, that's the story I got.
Well, listen,
That's the story I got. Now I didn't even care less about talking about Erica.
Even with this season, all of a sudden, out of nowhere, Dan's like my best friend. He's like, hey, yeah, I'll do Dick at Night. Yeah, I'm sure I could. Yeah, no problem. And, you know, as a matter of fact, if you want to make some money pushing my book, you put it on your website and I'll hook you up with this. And he's calling me up and this and that because the motherfucker thought I was going to be on this season. That was the only thing. And now, what do you think? I'm so fucking stupid I don't see this? Just like Janelle said with Boogie, all of a sudden, out of nowhere. He did?
Yeah.
Nice.
And I was like, I was basically like, okay, what do you want?
Yeah, exactly. I take it he didn't contact you, James.
Hell no, he wouldn't answer my phone call. Because he would have got rid of me first, just like I would have got rid of him first. That's damn sure. It's like I told Janelle and Boogie, I was like, you guys get rid of him the moment you get a chance.
Yes, you and me both. And they're so fucking stupid, That's the difference between playing against all-stars and playing against like a house full of retards. And even the returning players, the coaches, the all-stars. You know, you had Janelle, who had no strategy. I love Janelle, but she's not a strategic player. She played totally on emotion, wanted Boogie out. And I told her, and you told her, look, you're over there. I told her and you told her, fuck Boogie, he's not that good. Dan's the one you need to watch out for. Get him out first. The motherfucker's like a used car salesman. You can't believe a goddamn word he's saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, worse. So he's selling these people a $500,000 car. We go into final two. Okay, I don't give a fuck Ian's gonna bring Dan because he's a moron. James looks like he's looking at porn over there. The fuck are you looking at?
No, I'm looking at my itinerary for my fucking flight, and it looks all fucked up for tomorrow.
I know James's porn face. That wasn't his porn face.
Oh, this is porn face.
Oh, man, oh, god damn it. God damn it. I don't leave till 4 o'clock tomorrow. I have my ride coming at 7 in the fucking morning. I need to scratch that real quick.
Where are you going?
Going to LA, man. I got to shoot that shit. Project Phoenix.
He's going to LA. He's going to try to hit on Carol while he's there. She'll be there.
I don't hit on anyone.
Moved the hotel. They're not at the Sheraton, by the way. You know that, right?
I'm not commenting on how I know anything, sir.
They're in Burbank this year. Janelle was very pissed off that they put him at some shitty hotel in Burbank. She's like, those cheap fuckers, I can't even believe that they did that. But they're not at the Sheraton. Anyhow, so anybody that's
they're like,
stalking
get the fuck out.
Yeah, they're at the Motel 6 in Burbank.
Man, I'm fucking stupid. I'm just going to add that real quick.
Free ice. Free ice.
Okay, so Ian is going to bring Dan because he's an idiot. Do you think that either one of them could beat Danielle?
I think Jody going back in the house could beat Danielle.
I believe so, too. But they're going to look at, who won comps. And if it's Dan at the end, he's been practicing this speech in his mind for the last 2 weeks, right? Just like he did with the funeral thing. It's going to be a big
in the shower
production.
Too.
Yeah, big production. He's going over it and over it in his head, and he's going to be the funeral. That was all a ruse, and I did that whole thing to save Danielle. It was all about taking Danielle and what a great hero he is, and what a great guy. How he's been so loyal to her the whole time, even though he's lied to her and fucked her over 50 million times. But that's going to be his whole spiel. How he got him and Danielle to the end.
You heard it here first.
Okay, yeah. If anybody that doesn't know this already has to be, mental. But
blocked.
I think that Dan giving the speech will beat Danielle. If it's the final two.
So wait, so Danielle has won the first round of the HOH.
Because
Dan.
Threw it. Dan.
She gave it to Dan.
And Ian threw it. Why do you throw what the fuck is wrong with these people?
What do you mean?
I think
Ian's
that's-
supposed to be
fell?
a player. Ian's supposed to have watched all these seasons. Ian's supposed to know all of this stuff. Ian's like, he's a smart, retarded guy.
No, but here's why Ian threw it. Because Ian knows if he wins this, then he's not competing in what his strength is. And Ian's strength is the question and answer and the mental aspect. So he's going to save himself. Not because he's not going to compete in the second part if he wins the first part, right? Isn't that how it works? If he wins the longevity,
He doesn't have to do the second part. He moves on.
Right, I think
He
he's just
moves
going to
on
go to
to
the
the
second
round
part.
of
That's what he knows
endurance.
he's going to win at.
Whoever wins the endurance doesn't participate in the part 2, which is normally a puzzle. Okay?
Right,
And
so he's
puzzle,
putting his
you think
hope
it
in
would
that
be
he'll
his
kick ass in the
strong
puzzle.
suit, but Jesus Christ, did he fuck that thing up? The last POV?
Wait, we have confirmation that he threw this first round, the first
Yes.
round of HOH.
Yes. So
I don't know what the fuck that's about.
So he's going to go
Stupid.
against Danielle in a puzzle, who Danielle just whipped his ass in the last POV puzzle. And I mean, whipped his ass. This is something that Ian should have had one time ago, putting those faces on there, known everything. Ian shouldn't have had this kind of issue. Ian got 7 wrong the first time out. And then even after redoing it, still had 5 wrong. Then he had 3 wrong. Then he had 3 wrong.
He has a photographic memory. So, and they weren't like pictures of things. They were just people's faces and questions. So, but
Well,
yeah,
they did
no,
the exact-
agreed. It
They
was
did the
like
exact same
on a
competition in
molecular
my season.
level. It was built for him.
On a molecular level. Yeah, I saw that. I
I
like
think
that.
it would be. I was shocked that Danielle the Tard won. And Dan's pretty pathetic in these things. It's good that he's a talker, huh? Because I mean,
Oh, of
the
course.
guy
I mean,
can't
he
win
had
anything.
natural selection. You know, you go with what you're good at. I mean, Frank was good at physical shit because the guy's a fucking moron. You know what I mean? It's like you have to go for your strengths.
But it's kind of sad when you get a nitwit.
We can't all
like
be
Danielle
physical monsters
beating you
and geniuses
in a
like you, evil
competition
dick.
like that. Oh, the listeners
Yeah, that
talking
was
Mr. POV record over there.
Yeah, I had an HOH in there at least once. It took me 2 seasons, but
I think I had actually 3 HOHs and 1 POV. It wasn't that good. As
I think we should all come up with dream boards for the next episode. Like real dream boards, not something I just wrote down really quick. And our tribute to Ashley.
Okay.
I think that. Oh, really? You said okay?
Sorry, June, if you don't like the idea. Fucking jerk.
don't
I
like
said
it either.
okay. If I didn't like it, I
She was
wouldn't
in
have
a bad
said
mood today.
anything. Fuck you, man. I'm
She was
on
in
my
a fun
period.
Oh, are you? Wonderful.
I am.
All right, I have to bounce. I got 20 minutes to get to this casting, and I hope I look young dad enough.
Wait, I'm gonna bounce
So-
too.
No, you're out too.
What did you say, Dick?
I'm losing you.
Yeah.
I said with that haircut, your shirt's kind of wrinkly, even, dude. You're like a.
Dude, the shirt's coming off. It's for swimwear. The shirt's coming off. I just wasn't going to do this thing shirtless.
Oh, shirtless. He's going topless. Make sure you
Nice.
put
That's
your
just
nipples
inside
so
the
they're nice
casting.
and perky.
Nice.
I'll probably do push-ups right outside the audition room. Don't worry.
Okay, then.
Yeah, I'm gonna run too. We have a friend over.
Oh, that's right. That's right. You
Oh,
did say that.
threesome.
Well, real quick before both of you guys go, how's this going to
Yes,
turn
Al.
out? How's it going to turn out? Can Dan beat Ian with how bitter the jury is, and Shane pissed off as hell? Frank is fucking Ashley in there, so Ashley's going to vote the way that Shane wants. If Ian's one of the two,
Right.
you know, even Brittany said, our boy Ian. You know, so Brittany's on Ian's side. I think Dan loses to Ian no matter what the fuck he says. If it's Dan and Ian in the
100%.
final 2.
100%. Dan and Ian go to final 2. Ian will win.
I normally was on this train of thought where if Dan and Ian go, Ian wins. But watching Dan talk, and you got to remember what's going to be going on in production when they're talking to them in their DRs. They're like, you know, we want you guys to vote based on gameplay and not personal and this and that, because you know that's all. Well, actually, you guys don't know, you fucking dicks.
Wait a minute.
But those
They
of us
tell
that have
them
been
that?
in jury.
Wait a minute.
Well, they want you to
since when do they tell
want you
them
to know
that?
that. Well, see, you guys have never been to sequester. You know, when they're asking you jury questions, when you're doing your little jury interviews, they're sitting there and they're like, you know, do you think it would be better if you voted personal, or if you should remember that it's a game and vote based on gameplay? They ask you questions like that where they don't tell you, but they kind of lead you in a direction where you're like, oh yeah, maybe I shouldn't vote personal. You know, so I'm just, with the way Dan talks, the guy has been able to work magic with these fucking people. And
picking them off.
Yeah.
While
right,
picking
but
them
now,
off. But
he's
now
going to
they're
stand
all
up and he's going to remind every single one of them during his last speech that, hey, the reason I did this, the reason I did that. He's going to pull out the fact that his only real loyalty is to Chelsea, and that each one of them would have done the same thing for someone that they love. And he's going to make it personal, and he's going to tie each of them in personally to why they would have done exactly what he did. And he's going to pick all of them up, kiss all of their asses, and then I think that they might just, the Mist, as long as it goes to the fucking television set, they're going to get him. I mean,
Fuck the Mist.
he's done it all
piss
season.
on him.
Well, you're not in the house. Neither are any of us, which is why Dan's still there.
Pissed.
Okay.
June's pissed.
June's pissed. Wonderful. Honor period.
Pissed. Dan's pissed. What the fuck is the difference?
And James has got to bounce. So I got to go try to make some money.
All right, boys and girls.
Yo, make some money and come to
On
Belgium.
Twitter.
Make some money and come to Belgium. Dick is coming.
That's so to speak. Yes, me and Amy are going to Belgium.
Wonderful.
We're visiting June. We're going to be visiting June again next month, probably about this time, a month from now.
Oh my God, it's like an annual
next month
thing.
is what, October?
Yeah.
October? I got a trip to the Keys in October, and then where else am I going in October? No, Vail in November. Keys in October, Vail in November. You guys got to be more of a heads up. I'm a busy man.
I know.
So I got to
Next year.
bounce before I get fucking leave my agency.
Good
All
luck.
right.
Okay, I got
See you
a
guys
call.
later.
I think they just
Thanks.
scheduled my pilot, so woohoo!
Nice Tim
All
Tebow
right,
hat.
Dick.
Nice Tim Tebow hat, Dick.
I'm going to say good night, Dick.
Good night. Good night, Dick. Thanks, June.
Thanks.
It's always a pleasure. And we're going to call that a wrap. I think we covered quite a bit of stuff there, and I hope that you guys enjoyed it. We all know that Shane's a fool, and we all know that Ian is a fool, and if Ian takes Dan, he's a bigger fool, because anybody could beat Danielle at this point. So anyhow, we're going to call that a Dick at Night. Thank you, and tune in again. We have one more on Monday, recapping the Sunday show, and then we'll be recapping the season, the winner, so on and so forth. And I will see you in the last two episodes.